Officially the most depressing time of the year here in Pennsylvania. Got to get the boat winterized and ready for winter layup. This is a 2020 Moomba Craz with the Raptor 400. Got most of everything cleaned out, still got to finish that up. And then I need to winterize, well, I guess I actually need to get fuel in it, winterize the ballast tanks, change the oil, and winterize the engine. The Raptor 400s are obviously in a couple different kinds of boats, but they should be pretty much similar, if not identical, in terms of winterization. Ballast tanks probably vary a little bit. So figured I'd make a quick video. Got to go get it loaded up with fuel and finish getting it cleaned up and make a quick video on my winterization process. So everything is officially out, including that. A little over 1,000 pounds of lead. What a pain to get out of the boat. Now, gotta get this hooked up and run out to the gas station, get it gassed up, fill it with Sta-Bil, get the truck filled up, then I can come back, get the ballast tanks winterized, the engine oil changed, as well as get the engine winterized. Unfortunately, my garage back there does not have running water. So I gotta move the boat up by my house to be able to get this finished winterized. First thing I like to do is take care of the ballast system. In this particular boat, there's 3 ballast bags, one in the port, one in the starboard. There's a center tank, which can be seen through here, right there. And there's a fat sack that goes underneath those seats. I've already disconnected that one. You can see that line right here. It's not really needed and it just kind of gets in the way, so I take it out and drain it out. But I need that fitting to be able to pump the RV marine antifreeze in to winterize the center tank. As far as the back tanks, I'll take each of those out, drain them, and then I'll use one of them to fill up. I'll put about 2 gallons of the RV antifreeze in to flush backwards through the system to winterize the lines. The next thing that I get done is I have a drill pump, and I pump about 2 gallons of RV marine antifreeze into this fitting. And once that's done, you'll be able to, you probably won't be able to see it on camera, but you'll be able to see a little bit of the pink fluid in that tank. And then again, I run that on reverse just to push any excess fresh water out of the lines. So here's the setup I have. Little drill pump, 2 lines, and that just slowly pumps into that line. And what that's doing is filling up, well, not filling up, but putting the RV marine antifreeze in the center tank, so any residual water in there wouldn't have a chance to freeze. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but it sort of does. You can see there's a little bit of the RV marine antifreeze in there. So what I'll do to make sure that the rest of the lines are, or I guess purged out, I'll hit the pump, flip it in reverse until you see a little bit of the pink fluid come out, and that's it for the center tank. All right, for the port and starboard bags, take a funnel, dump about 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons of the RV marine antifreeze, and do the exact same thing that I did the center tank to make sure that the lines are clear and purged. So once I get a gallon or 2 of the fluid in there, you can kind of see I tilted it back up. The lines are already starting to fill back up. Come back up here, that's going to be the left side. Turn that on. You can hear it starting to pull some of that through. And you can look there. Let's flush it out. It's got a pink tint. The left side's good to go. Again, I'll just unhook this, switch this bag over to that side, and repeat the process. And as far as this bit for the ballast system, like I said, bow bag's already been removed, center tank's been winterized, port and starboard bag are winterized, they're all removed, and the ballast system is complete. Next up is get the boat started, let it run up to temp, get the engine oil changed. Again, it's the Raptor 400. Once that's completed, I will get all the water drained out of the engine, fill it with and run through with the RV marine antifreeze, drain it, and that's it for, pretty much that's it for the winterization process for the engine and ballast system. So on this particular boat, again, it's a 2020 Moomba Craz, Raptor 400. Underneath this hatch here, which I'm going to remove this whole piece, you can see the Sea Strainer Pro. Mine didn't come with this. I know a lot do. It's like $100, but it comes with a strain basket to protect from any debris, but there's also a hose hookup so you can run the boat on land to service it, things of that nature. So I'm going to get this piece ripped off, a little bit better access, and it'll help with the draining of the plugs and the lines that are in this part of the boat, just to assist with the winterization process. As you can see, that really opens up quite a lot of room. This line here is one that needs to be drained anyways when you go to winterize it. But next thing I'm going to do is get the boat running and up to temp. So first thing you want to do is this line here. It goes to the bottom of the boat where the water pickup is. There's a valve. You want to turn that down to close it. So if you hook the hose up, leave that valve open, all the water will shoot out the bottom of the boat, but you want the water to go obviously through the engine to help with cooling. So get the hose hooked up and get this started. All right, hose is hooked up, valve's closed. All that's left is to turn the water on and get the boat fired up. So, as you can see, running fine, just like it would be in the water. Hose is running up and right down into, you can see the water there, right down to the Sea Strainer. And I'll probably let it get to, I think it's like 150 to 160, get it up to temp and get the oil changed. Engine's up to temp. Here's pretty much what you're gonna need for an oil change. Got your Indmar fuel filter, part number, 8 quarts, Indmar 5W30, part number right there. And then a fluid extractor, I got that from Harbor Freight. 2 wrenches and that's pretty much it. So to get started, go underneath. Sorry if it's windy. Come underneath the boat here, and you want to remove this drain plug here. This part here can be a bit of a pain. This hose that's clipped to the block is your drain hose. This end needs to get fished down through that hole, which you can sort of see a little bit of light coming through. That's where this line has to get to. All right, got that hooked up. Feeds right into your pump. Couple pumps. Once it starts to build some pressure, starts pulling the oil out. There's 8 quarts in this engine. It'll pretty much fill this extractor up. It's a 2.3 gallon. So while the engine oil was draining, on this particular boat, this is the Raptor 400. This is a cartridge style oil filter. Again, not a whole lot of room to work down here. But all you got to do is take off that cap. There's an O-ring, I believe, that gets replaced. And this is what the new filter looks like. Pretty basic. And if I can get to it, new O-ring. I also like to use the Ziploc bag to help prevent any mess. Let that drain right into the Ziploc bag. And it just pulls off. All right, let's get your filter out. There's like a baffle looking type thing. Then you want to take your O-ring off. This is the new one. Get a little bit of oil. And then get that slid back down. And there's a groove that it slides into. Then take your new filter, which made sure it was the same as the old one. Slide down in, it'll kind of click. Put that right back in there. And screw that back tight. Right. You can kind of feel it seat down, but just for good measure. Snug it up. And that's your oil filter. As you can see in here, it's starting to suck air. It's got all the oil out. So we'll get this buttoned up. Our 8 quarts, fire back up, check the levels, and that'll be it. Well, unfortunately, my camera died last night and I didn't have enough hands to film it anyways. But as far as the oil change, as soon as you're done draining, you can see here the drain tube is routed back up, and there's a little hook here that you can connect so it doesn't get underneath the engine in a hard, and so it's not hard to get to. And here on the port side, you have your dipstick, and then your, right where my finger is the fill hole for the oil. For this engine, it's 8 quarts. I filled that up, ran it, checked the fluids, and that's pretty much it for the oil change. There's also the V-Drive oil, and if you can see this red dipstick here, the transmission fluid. I did not change, I just checked to make sure it was clean and full. I believe on this particular engine it's set for 300 hours service interval. So the Raptor 400 does have a closed loop cooling system. However, there is a raw water side. That's what comes up through the sea strainer, through the transmission, through the heat exchanger, the exhaust manifolds, and out of the exhaust. I did not get to film this last night again because my camera died, so I figured I'd do a quick walkthrough on draining the engine of the raw water. For the Raptor 400, there are 3 blue plugs and a crossover hose that need drained. So what I do to start is underneath your V-Drive here, you won't be able to see it on camera, directly underneath of it, there's a blue plug that needs unscrewed. This hose, the crossover tube here, this connects to your exhaust manifolds. That gets undone and drained out. And then in the very back of the boat, I don't know if it'll pick up, that probably won't. But on the back of your heat exchanger, there is a plug, and on the right by the heat exchanger, it's like another crossover tube. There's another blue plug. I'll unscrew this one here just so you guys can see what one of those looks like. Here are the blue plugs. Again, there's 3 of those in a crossover tube. So once all the fresh water is drained out, I reinstall all the plugs, tighten all the connections, and then I hook up this jug, which has a hose fitting, a hose, and it connects here to the sea strainer. I dump originally about 4 gallons of the RV Marine antifreeze into this tub. Again, hooked to the sea strainer. I start the engine, run it till it gets to about this level here. Shut the engine off, put about another 2 gallons in that jug, start it again till it again gets to that level. At this time, the pink fluid here will be exiting your exhaust where the fresh water would be. And that's how you know that all the fluid has made it through the system and pushed out any remaining water. Once that's done, I shut the engine off. Again, I disconnect all of the drain points, the one on the transmission, the crossover, and then the 2 plugs in the back. Drain all the pink fluid out. That way there's no chance of anything freezing or bursting. I reinstall the plugs, and that is it for the winterization process. Aside from going ahead and I completely detail everything both inside and out and get everything put away for the rest of winter. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop a comment or a question in the comment section. And again, this is for the Raptor 400. This is a 2020 model. Thanks for watching.